TII Item 440, September 9th, 2017, iOS 11, Beta 10, and Rumor Roundup.
Welcome to Today in iPhone.
I like it a lot.
Today in iPhone.
Hey, Google!
Oh yeah!
My beautiful iPhone, which I never have out of my hand and that I do everything with and has become an extension of whom I am.
This episode of Today in iOS is brought to you by Casper. Get $50 off any mattress purchase by visiting casper.com/TII and using promo code TII. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Rob, and you are listening to the Today in iOS podcast. First up, I want to thank Porter from Porter's Podcast, and my son, for sending in this music that you hear in the background. Porter said, "Hey, Dad, this song was recorded on an iPad Pro using GarageBand. The song is called I Think the Dog is Hungry Because He's Trying to Eat Me Again. And I transferred it to your computer using AirDrop. Regards, Porter." Well, thank you, Porter, for the music. And folks, I will put the full song at the end of the episode. Also want to thank Tom for sending in the artwork for today's show. Tom wrote the following. Hi, Rob, here's a picture of my wife, Amy, and I from Crystal Lake, Illinois, celebrating our 20th anniversary in Chicago as we had to stop by the Apple Store. Pic was taken with an iPhone 7 Plus, edited in Lightroom Mobile, added text with the overwrap. Regards, Tom from Crystal Lake, Illinois. And thanks, Tom, for sending in this picture. And folks, you can see the artwork in the free TI app via the bonus button for episode 440 or at instagram.com/todayinios and also at facebook.com/todayinios. Tom's picture continues to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of TII and the iPhone. Please, when talking or taking a photo of yourself in front of your local Apple Store, if possible, take a square picture. And as I have to make them square for iTunes, I'm going to do that anyway if you don't. And then put in the Apple Store location on the photo along with the TII or Today in iOS branding. And thanks to the many of you that have already sent me photos. As always, send those pics to todayinios@gmail.com. And if you have some music you've created like Porter did, and you created it on an iOS device like Porter did, that you would like to share with the audience, please email that to me as well and make sure to include which app or apps you use to create said music. To boldly go where no beta has gone before. iOS 11, Beta 10. Well, last episode I was wrong when I said Beta 9 should be it, but I was right when I said unless there is something really wrong, then there might be Beta 10. Well, I can say the last 5 days, or the first 5 days that I had iOS 11, actually probably the whole first week I had iOS 11 Beta 9, makes me fully understand why they had to have Beta 10. Beta equals bugs. I've said it many times, and for me, Beta 9 lived up to that and then some. I can't remember the last time I had my iPhone 7 Plus hang to where I had to press and hold the power button and the volume down button to force a hard reboot. But this past week, I had to do it twice. Lots and lots of apps crashed, and the issues I had with Beta 9 were not just for my 7 Plus, but they also were happening for the 6 Plus and the iPad Pros 12.9-inch and the original 10.5-inch device, or the 12.9 original and the 10.5-inch iPad Pros. So the 4 devices that I had set up to Beta 9 on iOS 11 all had issues. Now, I heard from others that didn't have them, but at least in our household, we did. And I can tell you my 7 Plus, wow, it was flaky. And I was traveling, and I came so close to upgrading when I was traveling, but I didn't because I was like, not a good time to upgrade when you're on the road. As per what was different with Beta 10 versus Beta 9, it looks to be the typical bug fixes and optimizations with a lot more emphasis towards bug fixes, I would guess. I will warn now, and on the next episode as well, when the next round of updates for iOS come out as Gold Masters for all, likely around September 19th, plus or minus a day, do not upgrade. iOS 11 has had too many updates this late in the cycle not to have had some additional issues. Plan on waiting for iOS 11.0.2 before upgrading to iOS 11. Give it a couple of double dot updates just to work out those last items. Don't be the first one to update to iOS 10. Please save yourself some headache. tvOS 11, never wanted to not keep up with the Joneses, also updated to Beta 10. Again, that one has been pretty much nothing but bug fixes and optimizations from the beginning. The most boring update of all time just got more boringer, or is that tvOS 11 became the boringest of all time? Either case, nothing to see here. Move along, move along. Apple has updated the Apple's Events app for Apple TV this past week in anticipation of the September 12th event. The app has the message, quote, "Watch the first ever special event at the Steve Jobs Theater in Cupertino, California," unquote. You can also go to apple.com/apple-events and look for a link in the show notes for that, and we'll talk a little bit more about the live event later in the episode. Seems Apple wants to make sure you know iOS 11 is coming, and they're doing this by offering up via their Tips app some tips about learning about new features coming in the new Control Center for iOS 11 and other iOS 11 tips. From reports coming in, seems Apple is pushing the new Control Center, Do Not Disturb while driving, and the new Files app, as well as a few other items. When Apple does the September 12th event, they will highlight iOS 11 again, and the features they talk about on the 12th will be the ones they will be pushing the hardest this fall, and you'll see in commercials. Apple again should be announcing when the Gold Master of iOS 11 will be available for all, but it is a trap. Stay away until iOS 11.0.2 at least is released. Let everyone else figure out what was missed in the 10 betas of iOS 11 and why it took 10 betas to get through this one. Like, for example, the bug where when you click on a link to the iTunes Store page for a podcast from an email, it does not actually launch the podcast app as expected. This is one I have been reporting to Apple since August, since Beta 7, and was still there in Beta 10. Hopefully that will get fixed in iOS 11.0.1 or one of the early double dot updates. An interesting report about smartphones in China. They looked at what percentage of current owners of a smartphone repurchased a phone from the manufacturer. iPhones had a 53.4% repurchase rate, which compared to rates I have heard about in other parts of the world was much lower than expected. However, in China, apparently that is considered very good, as Oppo and Vivo had a roughly 25% repurchase rate, which sounds bad until you compare it to the Samsung rate, which was 7.2%. Ouch. And no matter what market you're in, 7.2% repurchase rate is horrible. I mean, that's lower than the repurchase rate at a Chipotle that had an outbreak of E. coli. Just saying. The report also looks at the installed base of smartphones in China in Q2 2017. And Apple was number one with 171 million units. Huawei was second at 132 million. Oppo was third at 124. Vivo was fourth at 108. Xiaomi was fifth at 68 million. And sixth place was Samsung at 48 million. That data sounds strange, to say the least. I had not seen a report like this before that had Apple in the top dominant spot in China. The report was released from the Korean International Trade Association, which for all we know could be a fake group created by Apple to make Samsung look bad. Well, except for the fact the Wikipedia page for them says they were created in 1946 and is a private nonprofit organization with 105 traders as its founding members. And that was in 1946. And there was no Apple, and neither was there a Steve Jobs nor a Steve Wozniak at that point. They weren't even anywhere close to being born. So either it's a real trade organization or Apple hacked their wiki page. Okay, this next article falls under Who Do I Root For category. It's about the Boston Red Sox stealing signs from the New York Yankees, hence the issue of who to root for. Normally when they play, I just root for the umpires. And well, this time it was actually the umpires that may have won. Seems, the umpires didn't bust the Red Sox, the Yankees did for cheating. Why am I mentioning this? Well, part of the cheating involved an Apple Watch. And here is what happened in a nutshell. When a runner is on base, a team will change the signal calling for the pitch, how the signs are delivered from the catcher. Now, they'll usually go with some sort of number series. The Red Sox were able to figure out the number series being used and then transmitted that info to the Apple Watch of someone in the Red Sox dugout, who then signaled the info to the runner on second base, who could then figure out what the next pitch was going to be by watching the signs from the catcher to the pitcher. The runner would then subtly, or not so subtly, as the case may be, signal the batter the pitch that was coming, thus giving the hitter an advantage in knowing what type of pitch was coming. Stealing signals is not illegal if it's just the runner on second base doing it on his own. It is when they included electronic devices in their master scheme, did they run afoul of the rules? If this all sounds pretty petty, yes it is. It's not like they let a couple of pounds of air pressure out of a football or anything egregious like that. I want to once again thank Casper for supporting our show in 2017. The nights I record are the nights I get my best night of sleep, as I get to go and use the Casper mattress as recording night, especially on a non-school night. It means the kids sleep with mom and dad sleeps on the Casper mattress. It is by far the best mattress in the house. But don't take just my word on how good the mattresses are. There are well over 20,000 reviews on Amazon and Google with an average of 4.8 stars. It has quickly become the internet's favorite mattress. Why did they get such great ratings, you ask? Well, Casper mattresses combine supportive memory foams to create an award-winning sleep surface with just the right sink and just the right bounce. Casper is an obsessively engineered mattress at a shockingly fair price that an in-house team of engineers spent thousands of hours developing. It is designed, developed, and assembled in the U.S. They offer sizes from twin to California kings with a great price, and with Casper, you get a 100-day risk-free trial period. You don't like it, you get your money back. They come and pick it up and donate it to a charity. If you go to casper.com/TII and use promo code TII, you'll save $50. Terms and conditions apply. This is an American-made mattress with delivery right now for the U.S. and Canada only, and it is free delivery. And when said mattress is delivered, it's from UPS in a squarish box that you think, no way is there a mattress in there. But you get a cool little tool to cut open the package, and the mattress opens up and expands the form. It's really cool. Just Google Casper mattress unboxing. You order online and it is delivered to your door. So no need to go out in the heat or the cold or wherever you're living, whatever time you're ordering to get it either. It's right there from your home. Easy to do. Don't have to go out to some store and sit on some mattresses for 2 seconds and try to think, is that going to work for me? No, you get 100 nights to try this one out. Again, to save $50, go to casper.com/TII and use promo code TII, all lowercase on the promo code. Again, casper.com/TII, promo code TII to save $50. Thanks, Casper, for the great mattress and for sponsoring this show.
Good morning, Rob. It's Tom from New York. Last week, a blind person had called in looking for a Bluetooth adapter that would connect more than one device at the same time. Bose makes one called Bose Sound Sport, and it works very well. I use it on my iPhone and my iPad at the same time, and whichever one becomes active, it will connect with that. Hope this helps the guy out. Have a great day. Love your show. Talk to you soon.
Tom, thanks for the feedback. Into the email bag we go. Hi, Rob. I have downloaded a few of the public betas of iOS 11 on my personal iPhone 7, and today my music app crashed downloading some songs. I've hard reset my phone, clear all the memory, holding the power button and down to shut down the screen. Even reinstalling the music app, however, it still is crashed. It will come up white with icons for the music app on the bottom when opening, but doesn't load anything or let you go to various places. I've resorted to Google Play Music while this has happened. If you have anyone in the audience who knows a solution, or you do, I would love to know, as I want to access Apple Music. Thanks for reading the podcast. I listen on to all of them I started this year. Best regards, Tim. Hi, Tim. I had very similar crashes with iOS 11 Beta 9 as well. Here's what I had to do to get any apps to work after a crash. I had to go and force quit every app, then go to settings and then reset network settings. And when I did the reset network settings and it came back up, then I could get apps to work again. But if there was an app that caused a crash and I had to do the reboot, like you said, that was just to get me back to where I could work. Then to actually get the apps to work again, I had to go into reset network settings and do that. Then the communication for the apps would then work to the outside world. So try that out when you ever have an issue. Go to settings and then reset network settings and accept it and do that. Once you do that, you have to come back and reset up your password for Wi-Fi because it will wipe out that password. So do note that. So first thing you should do when you come back is do that. The other thing is go to the About section in the Settings app and change the name back to what you want your phone to be called. I still don't understand when you do a reset network settings why it has to wipe your name out that you've set up in the About section. There's no reason for that, Apple. And that's been that way for years. I wish they would stop that.
Hey, Rob. Matt Overstreet here again with another question. Does anyone in the audience know, or perhaps do you know, of any voiceover-friendly apps that block scam calls? I did find one called Truecaller that works for my needs. However, it is not totally blind-friendly. Only certain features work with VoiceOver, and I wouldn't recommend it for the totally blind. But I'm just wondering if there are any VoiceOver-friendly scam blockers, because I've been getting a lot of BS calls on my cell phone lately, and when I pick up, they wait a second and then hang up, which I think that's the automatic scam blocking in iOS, but it's rather getting annoying, and I was just wondering if I could kill these things before they happen. So if you could let us know, I'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks.
Matt, thanks for the voicemail message, and sorry to hear of the issues you're having. If anyone can help Matt with a good suggestion here, give us a call, 206-666-6364. That's 206-Moondog, or shoot an email to todayinos@gmail.com. Random tip time. This one has to do with when you get a notification at the top of the screen for a new iMessage or text message. Simply pull the notification down to reply without leaving the screen you're on. It's that simple. All right, now let's get into all the rumor stuff. Let's talk first dates for rumors. And the latest is the new iPhones will go on sale at 12:01 a.m. Pacific time on Friday morning, the 15th. Now, by on sale, I mean pre-order. And that would be the 14th for those in Hawaii. In any case, that means if you go to bed in the U.S. on Thursday and don't try to order a new iPhone until you get up later Friday morning, you will be greatly disappointed by the delivery date. If rumors are true, and they make sense, we definitely will go over this one on the next episode, which, by the way, will come out Tuesday evening. Right now, the 12th is the plan for that. And we'll have information about pre-orders at that time. But again, right now, plan on whatever it is, whatever day it is, you want to be online the second pre-orders are available. Speaking of rumors, per the new iPhone 2017 super duper phone and when it will start being delivered to customers, it falls into two groups. Those that think it will be delivered to a small number of users on September 22nd, and those that believe there are no shipments that will start until at least mid to late October, and some rumors saying it may even be late November before the iPhone 2017 is delivered to anybody. However, the updates for the iPhone 7S and 7S Plus will both be shipping on September 22nd, according to basically everyone that thinks Apple will have a 7S and 7S Plus, which I must admit is now pretty much everyone, as I think I was maybe the last holdout that said there would be only one iPhone introduced this year. Now, don't get me wrong, I still don't see the value of the 7S and 7S Plus if the iPhone 2017 will be in between in case size, but bigger than both in screen size. Per the new OLED iPhone 2017 Super Duper phone, and why it will be delayed, most pointed to the OLED screen being the biggest constraint in delivery, although a few did say it had something to do with 3D sensors, and we'll talk about those items here shortly. It is very, very likely that this next-gen iPhone will be in short supply until 2018, regardless if they ship some on the 22nd or if they don't ship them till November. In any case, if you are at all interested in getting one of these, you will need to be prepared to be online and pre-ordering the second the pre-order window opens this coming week. The new OLED iPhone has been called a lot of things. As I mentioned, I was going to sort through the mountain of rumors on this episode, And strangely enough, the name is still one of the big unknowns. Many have been calling it the iPhone 8 since, well, the iPhone 7 launched. PhoneArena.com and others are saying the iPhone will be the iPhone X. Some say it will be the iPhone Pro. For my bingo card, those are the three that made the cut. And I refer to the new iPhone as the iPhone 8XP to merge all three of those onto one name for the bingo card. Other names that did not make the bingo card cut are iPhone 8 Edition or just iPhone Edition. Those are two other ones that were rumored. And I don't think it'll be either because it's too similar to the iPhone SE, which stands for Special Edition, which would really seem silly for the iPhone Edition to be much more special than the Special Edition. Right now, the strongest rumors around the name seem to be all the wind blowing towards iPhone X for the new OLED iPhone, with iPhone 8 and 8 Plus for the other phones being introduced. In other words, no iPhone 7S and 7S Plus, we would go right up to 8 and 8 Plus. Supposedly, a leaked version of iOS 11 Gold Master firmware made its way into the hands of a couple of devs who found references to the iPhone X, iPhone 8, and iPhone 8 Plus in the code. This supposed leaked code info backs up what Chinese case manufacturer CaseMe had been saying for the past week and a half or so. And again, iPhone 8 and 8 Plus for upgrades to last year's phones, along with iPhone X for the new OLED iPhone. It seems, at least now, to be what the rumor mill is kind of leaning towards, heavily leaning towards, but still seeing the other names thrown around town as well. Okay, well, if we can't all agree on the name, we can at least agree on the price, right? No. Pricing rumors for entry-level iPhone 8XP range from $799 on the low side to $999 on the high side. For the top-end 8XP, pricing ranges from $999 on the low side to $1299 on the high side, with most, however, seeming to settle in on the $1199 price for the top-end iPhone 8XP. Which should, I think first, let's compare that to the current iPhone 7 Plus pricing, just to put everything in perspective. Right now, it's $769 for the 32 gig, but that version isn't even available for the jet black or the red versions. Then there's the $869 for the 128 gig version and $969 for the 256 gig version. What I think makes sense for the iPhone 8XP, if the OLED screen price issues are true, would be $999 for 64 gig, $1099 for 256, and $1199 for 512. That pricing might sound high, but if there are also next-gen iPhone 7 and 7 Pluses coming, that means the 7S or Plus or 8 Plus at 256 gig would be $969 versus the $1099 for the 256 gig iPhone 8XP. That's just a $130 price difference, and does not sound ridiculous. If anything, might not be enough of a difference. A couple of rumors said there would only be 64 gig and 512 gig versions of the 8XP available, getting rid of that middle level altogether. And looking at potential price points, that does kind of make some sense. Safe to say, the name rumors, the price rumors do not have any clear-cut winner. The September 12th event will be a fun one, given all the uncertainty this year versus last year going into the event. When the specs, names, and most other specs last year were pretty much known back as early as July 2016, this year, not so much even on September 9th, 3 days before the event. And when we talk about entry-level and top-level iPhone 8XPs, we're really talking about internal storage levels. And the rumor mill around storage levels for the 8XP, really it looks like the 64 not enough gigabytes for 4K video would be the entry level, versus the 256, yes, this is enough gigabytes, and the 512, because I really like to shoot 4K video gigabyte versions, would be the three levels. 64, 256, and 512 make a lot of sense. If there are three versions of the 8XP, clearly they will be 64, 256, and 512. But a couple of rumors out there do have only 2 levels, with 64 and 512 being the more likely of those rumors, of those other rumors. The other one said it would be 64 and 256 only. And I don't see that happening. There's already iPad Pros at 512. So if you're going to have the special iPhone X or whatever it's going to be called, 8 or X or Pro, whatever it is, it seems that you would also want 512 on the top end. At least my guess is there would be 3 levels. Again, 64, 256, and 512. Once we get the new iPhone 8XP, we'll want to unlock it. And there are a lot of rumors on how this will or will not happen. First, almost all the rumors have the physical home button Touch ID that used to be on the front gone, as in no more. I have not seen one lately that had Touch ID on the front at all, not even through the screen. There are some that are saying there will be a virtual home button and you will tap to wake the iPhone, but nothing about a home button anymore, a real home button, Touch ID on the front. For unlocking, how that will work depends on which of the 3 key rumor paths you want to believe. I think the most likely one at this time is there is no Touch ID at all rumor, but rather it will unlock with facial recognition. Initially, I thought this was the least likely, but as the rumors keep mounting, this one seems to have the most smoke to it. The basic rumor is that Apple has developed 3D facial recognition that is at least 2 years ahead of the closest competition. Not the gimmick Samsung tried to roll out that could easily be unlocked with your picture on another smartphone, but real 3D sensing tech that can recognize you in a small fraction of a second and do so even with the phone lying down on a table. Again, this is per the rumor mill. So adding this all up, you simply tap to wake. In the time it takes you to tap, it will have recognized you and unlocked. So it will not even seem like it's unlocking, just waking. The 3D sensing tech rumor goes back to the beginning of the summer. And again, right now, that seems the most likely. Another rumor someone at Foxconn is reporting is the iPhone 8XP will have on the rear of it a fingerprint sensor. This pulled from some slides from a leaked presentation on the next iPhone. Again, this rumor I've never been a fan of. It seems so Samsung-ish to put the fingerprint sensor on the back. Yes, there have been supposed leaked photos of iPhone shells with the cutout for the fingerprint sensor on the back, but they most likely were fakes, especially if there's going to be wireless charging. And I really don't answer this. Does anyone really want a fingerprint sensor on the back of the iPhone? Anyone? I mean, does anyone want it back there? I can't think of anyone. No one's emailed me saying, I want to have a fingerprint sensor on the back. No. And the third path for unlocking was one I originally liked the most, and that was putting the Touch ID in the power button on the side. There have been rumors of a larger power button to support this, but lately this rumor has pretty much ran out of all steam or smoke or whatever it is that's letting out and hinting that there was fire, but it seems the fire's gone out on that one. And any recent rumors at all mentioning the power button on the side and a sensor were just saying that it's not happening. So right now, it seems 3D facial recognition is the most likely way that your iPhone 8XP is going to be unlocked. One of the truly new features for an iPhone, but out there for others for a while now, and one that has been rumored and wished for iPhones, is wireless charging. This one has been debated ad nauseum since well before the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus were even announced and released. This seems to be something a lot of users want because many have been told to want it, I guess. That said, Apple Watch is already wireless charging, and so the tech know-how is there for Apple if Apple does not mind ditching the metal back. There have been some supposed leaked x-rays of the iPhone 8XP, and those supposed leaked x-rays do appear to support the claim of wireless charging. Also, QI Wireless seems to maybe have slipped up and mentioned it. In an ad, they said, one charge to power them all, 10 watts of output charge designed to support next-gen Apple and Android smartphones. Oopsie. At the bottom of their ad, it says coming fall 2017. The new iPhone 8XP also is supposed to have quick charging capabilities, but be limited on the wireless charging side to 7.5 watts max, unless, of course, you believe the QI wireless ad, in which case it would be 10 watts. On the camera front, one of the oldest rumors for the iPhone 8XP is that the dual cameras will be one above the other rather than the current one next to the other on the 7 Plus when looking at the phone in portrait mode. Essentially, rotate the current cameras 90 degrees. The other key rumor is that when it comes to 4K video, both the front and rear cameras will support 4K 60 frames per second ultra high def video. As I said before, your nose hair will never have looked so good. Surprisingly, there have not been a lot in the area of camera rumors for the next iPhone. And I say surprisingly because, well, the camera is one of the most used and often sought after features. Every time there's been an update of the iPhone, there's been some major updates of the camera and specs on the camera. This likely means some nice surprises in store for the 12th, because right now, outside of rotating at 90 degrees and talking about 4K video from both sides of video being recorded from both cameras, front and back, there hasn't been a lot of good rumors around the camera. For the iPhone 8XP, almost all seem to agree, beyond being an OLED screen, the screen will be larger than the current screen on the 7 Plus. The 8XP should be around 5.8 inches in size and go edge to edge. This will be close to a bezel-less screen design. Most of the rumors show a little area at the top for the 3D sensing, facial sensors and speaker for your ear and when not talking and other sensors, but this sensor speaker area at the top does not extend edge to edge. Rather, there will be some screen to the left and right of the sensors. It is like the sensor area is notched out of the screen. At this point, if the 8XP does not look exactly like what the rumors have, it would be one of the more surprising items at an event for quite some time. For internal RAM, the rumors seem to point to 3 gigabytes of RAM for the new 8XP, which is what the current 7 Plus has, and the new 7S Plus would have. The 7S or 8, whatever it's going to be called, would stay at 2 gig of RAM. And by 7S Plus and 7S, we also mean 8 Plus and 8 respectively, depending on how the naming goes here. One of the UI rumors for the iPhone 8XP is that it will move closer towards the iPad mini with an improved dock that is iPad-ish and with gesture controls. The latter there probably because there's no home button. This makes sense as the 6 Plus and 6S Plus and the 7 Plus already had some special features that other iPhones did not have and were more iPad-ish like. With the 8XP being even bigger, 5.8 inches versus 5.5 inches for those other devices, it gives it a little bit more of an iPad feature feel that will be very welcome. Hopefully that means multitasking as well. Not a rumor, just more of my own wish for an item. And per UI rumors, there is one also coming out of this is coming out of a supposed Goldmaster leak of iOS 11. And it is the addition of what is being called an Animoji, which Animoji stands for animated emoji. And with the new 3D sensing capabilities of the iPhone 8XP, you will be able to create emojis based off of your own facial reactions and have them kind of mapped to your face. Okay, not really getting why I need to have my face mapped to make a 3D emoji of a cat, which right now would be showing eyes rolling expression if I was going to do one right now. Just not getting it. You always need a new color to talk about when there's new iPhones, and some were saying it was going to be the red, but those rumors really go back to when the red iPhone 7 and 7 Plus came out. Right now, the one color it seems a few different people have come out with or settled on is copper, with the others being for the 8XP being aluminum and black. It is possible that copper was just really a bad photo of a gold iPhone, and someone said, oh, it looks copperish. Let's go with copper. And base gray, let's call that aluminum. If I had to pick between copper and red, I would go with red every time, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Apple does like to do new colors to allow users to show off the fact via the color that they have the latest and greatest iPhone. So kind of have to go with copper it is. In any case, the other rumor on the color is all the iPhone 8 XPs will have a black front. They will not be a version this time around with a white front. This decision, if true, is probably in place due to the fact that there's going to be a notch for the 3D sensors and other sensors, and to keep it from standing out too much, just go with black front, and that will make things look a little bit nicer. It is also rumored that the iPhone 8 XP's battery would be a 2700 milliamp hour battery. Of course, with iOS devices, battery size is not a direct correlation to battery life, especially when you go with OLED rumor and then the smaller nanometer size of the A11 processor rumor. Apple has a lot of places it could make the 8XP more efficient battery-wise. That said, to put the rumor of a 2700 milliamp hour battery in perspective, the iPhone 7 Plus has a 2900 milliamp hour versus 2750 for the 6S Plus and 2915 milliamp hours for the 6 Plus. This would make it smaller than any of the plus size phones, but pretty close to the 6S Plus battery. In theory, with the power efficiencies Apple's going to gain from the OLED screen and the improved A11 processor, the battery life should go up for the 8XP, even if the battery capacity is slightly smaller. As we are doing now, many other blogs have done recently, and that is the wrap-up of everything we know about or rumor about that are about on the iPhone 8 XP and the September 12th event. Bloomberg even got in the game by putting out a little image showing and highlighting what they think we know, starting with the outline, which again is edge-to-edge display with a notch at the top for the 3D and other sensors. Bloomberg also includes what other smartphones have those specific new features, like the stainless steel edge, i.e. the iPhone 4 and 4S, and the glass in front and back, also the 4 and 4S, or the OLED screen, say the S8 and the Moto Z2 and other Android phones, the basic edge-to-edge display, again S8 and the Essential phone, inductive charging, and then they just go Palm and Samsung and Moto and Sony and the Apple Watch for that matter. And then they put some other specs they labeled as new, i.e. not really anyone else, better cameras for better AR, smart camera, improved scene and object detection, 3D facial recognition sensor to unlock phone and make payments, and then the infrared sensor to allow for in the dark facial recognition and more. That last one there is not the and more, but the facial recognition in the dark. That one is key for making facial recognition work, because we're talking about a device, the iPhone, which traditionally has not been the best for nighttime photos. And now saying at 3 a.m. when it's dark and you need to unlock the phone in the dark because whatever, you got a text or a phone call or something came in and you really need to unlock it. We want said device to accurately recognize me and unlock me in the dark. And nothing at all could possibly go wrong there with that, right? So hopefully they really have figured out how to make it work where it can check your face and unlock your face in even the darkest of light. We should point out, if the 5.8-inch screen rumor proves out, back in February, Ming-Chi Kuo had rumored that that would be so, and it would be an OLED screen and would eliminate the home button and current Touch ID and would go to some sort of biometric sensing, i.e. 3D facial recognition. Looking through the wrap-ups out there, I see battery size ranging anywhere from a low of 2350 milliamp hours to a high of 3000 milliamp hours. Again, the more reliable sources seem to be in that 2700 milliamp hour range. And one of the analysts out there was throwing out some 11th hour rumors in that the iPhone 8XP would also come bundled with a free subscription to Apple Music and a 200 gig of iCloud storage for 1 year. If anyone buys the iPhone 8, that is. Now, that is almost like getting a discount of $156, unless you did not plan on getting either of those services, in which case it's just some nice extras with no real perceived value. The analyst in question said without the bundle, they modeled Apple selling 40.3 million iPhone 8XPs, but with the bundle, that number went up to 64.4 million units. It did not state over what time period that was, but I would imagine that means over the first year of release of the device. The Apple event will not be all about new iPhones. There is going to be some mention likely of a new Apple TV, and almost every rumor about said new Apple TV has the 5th gen device supporting 4K video. Of course, you need a 4K TV to enjoy that. It does not turn your regular 1080p HD TV into a 4K TV. Yes, there are some that needed clarification on that point. The 5th gen Apple TV is also said to support HDR, high dynamic range video, which will offer brighter and more accurate colors. For those following along at home, the 4th gen Apple TV was introduced at an event in October 2015. Additional rumors, if you want to call them that, are that the 5th gen will have a faster processor than the 4th gen. Gee, you think? Also, it will look similar to the 4th gen device. Not big a stretch there. My boys have both picked up on the 4K Apple TV rumor, saying basically, gee, Dad, if the Apple TV supports 4K TV, you need to go and buy us a 4K TV to test it out for the show. Always nice to see the boys looking out for Dad's podcast. To me, the one thing I have not seen mentioned with the 5th gen Apple TV rumors is price. Where will it come in? And I can't imagine the only difference is 4K TV support and a faster processor. Surely there must be more. Speaking of more, another Apple product that highly likely to get an update at the September 12th event is the Apple Watch to Series 3. When you look at the rumors that are out there, they bounce between a completely new form factor to the same exact form factor. I'm leaning with the same exact form factor. There is the rumor that the biggest change will be the addition of LTE data to support, and at late, an additional rumor to the rumor mill that is the iPhone and Apple Watch it pairs to will share the same phone number. Sure as heck hope so. What is not so clear is what carriers are going to charge to add the Apple Watch to their service plan that you have with them. This is one area I think can and will get confusing quickly if it is handled differently by various carriers. And since carriers can almost never agree on anything, that's likely to be the case. Some other rumors around the next-gen Apple Watch are the addition of additional workouts, such as baseball, bowling, dancing, skiing, skipping rope, and surfing, to name a few. Per the next-gen iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, be it that they are called the 7S and 7S Plus or the 8 and 8 Plus, rumors have it they might be slightly thicker than their predecessors. This supposedly would be the case if they then had glass backs and supported wireless charging. If that is the case, then the 8 and 8 Plus names are the most likely names of the group. One last item that might be mentioned to get some stage time at the Apple event is an update on where we are with the HomePod. And one of the rumors on the HomePod is how it will pair with your iPhone, and that is through an audible tone that the HomePod would emit and the iOS device would pick up for pairing. This will be just one method for pairing likely, as there should be others, but this would be a new type of pairing method that hasn't been used before with iOS devices. There are also some rumors out there that the HomePods are starting to make their way out in the wild to select Apple employees for for their home testing. Some rumors have said availability early on will be very, very tight. And if you are planning on getting one, best to order one the second the pre-orders start, which is possible Apple will hint at said timeline on when pre-orders will be available in the event. And at a min, it is likely Apple will take a few minutes to talk up the HomePod on the 12th and its availability. I did put out the September 12th rumor bingo card. Some of you had asked. You can find it at todayandios.com right before episode 440 or in the TI app right before episode 440 and right after the unboxing video for the plug. But I'll get into that shortly. Per the bingo card, as I state in the post, it is not what I think will be announced. It is just those rumors that have the most momentum or the top rumors that are out there. I do try to put them in an order to get bingo, and with most likely items being the ones that run diagonal from top left corner to the bottom right corner, and then from the bottom left corner to the top right corner. Take a look at the rumor bingo card before the live event and use it to follow along at home. And if you go to todayandios.com, I have a blog post for the bingo card along with plain text in the blog post. So anyone who's sight impaired, you can follow along as well.
Hey Rob, it's Kevin Crossman from Fremont, California. Definitely looking forward to the release of iOS 11 in a few weeks. But as you've noted on the podcast, those 32-bit apps are not going to work with that version of the operating system. I think some people have already taken the task to start deleting those apps, and I want to give everyone a heads up that there have been quite a number of apps that I would have never thought would have been updated to 64-bit that have actually gotten recent updates. Apps like Fingerzilla and More Cowbell app, among others. So it may be worth keeping some of those older 32-bit apps around on your phone and seeing if they get updated before or after the release of iOS 11, because some of those are really, really useful, and I really like them. And for me, I'm looking forward to a new tip calculator app because my favorite tipulator very likely is not going to get updated. I will be on the hunt for that. Thanks.
Kevin, thank you for the great tip there, folks. Yep, hold on to those 32-bit apps. Let's see what happens. Worst thing that's going to happen is they're not going to work. But if they do happen to have a few of them that do get their updates in right when iOS 11 comes out, and give it a month or two. Give them some time before you totally abandon them. So, Kevin, great advice. Thank you. Into the email bag. Hi, Rob. I wanted to report that the deletion bug that was highlighted at the end of episode 438 was definitely there up until the latest release. What I found was that when you deleted an application, the icon remained on the screen until you scrolled off that page and back on. If you are one of those who keeps every icon in one page, you may perceive this as not deleting. The bug has been reported, but I have not tested it on the latest build released recently. Have a great day and appreciate your efforts. Pray for Texas, Peter in Austin.
Hey, what's going on, Rob? This is L.A. Williams from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I just got a question about the Messages app because it seems to give me the most trouble out of any of the stock apps. Just whenever I'm loading it, it's always so slow, and it just, I don't know. Does anyone else have problems with the Messages app with the how slow it is? Even when I ask Siri to send a message, she's like, I did it, and then she didn't do it, right? And then same deal, if I try to send a message to someone from the calendar or the phone app, it'll either quit on me or something. I always have to either restart the phone or at least refresh it with the holding down the power button and the home button. So I don't know. Just like I said, checking to see if anyone else has that trouble and if anybody knows a fix for it or if even Apple is aware. I don't know. Let me know. Thanks for the show.
LA, thanks for the feedback, and I'm going to throw that one out to the audience. If anyone can help LA, if they've had issues with the Messages app, or if they've seen the same issue, and especially if you fixed it, let us know. Give us a call, 206-666-6364. That's 206-MOONDOG, or shoot an email to todayandios@gmail.com. For a Kickstarter project, we have the Podcase, P-O-D-C-A-S-E, one word. It's a battery case for your iPhone and AirPods. What is most special about this one starts with who is behind it. Eric Mijikozowski, Eric, is founder of Pebble, and Steve Johns, got your name right, Steve, founding industrial designer with Pebble, as well as Alan Evans, got yours right too, Alan. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And he was from Avagant. And they have a goal of 300K. And not quite there yet. They're at 25K pledged. They have until October 7th at 9:15 a.m. to hit their goal. The pod case comes in 2 sizes, one for the iPhone 7 and one for the 7 Plus. They also are planning to design one for the next gen iPhone and will update this project once the iPhone 8XP is announced on September 12th. Pricing on this is $89 US. As the description indicated, it is a charging case for both your iPhone and your AirPods. It is also supposed to make carrying your AirPods easier. And at night, you can plug just one item into it. You have one cord that you have to worry about, and that will charge your iPhone, your AirPods, and the charging case itself. In the morning, you just have one item to grab as you head out the door. It seems like 300K will be a stretch on this one, but maybe after the iPhone 8XP is announced on the 12th, it will pick up steam. Search for Podcase, one word, PODCASE, at Kickstarter.com or in the show notes for episode 440 at todayios.com. I finally received my first true Tesla product. Nope, it was not a car, sadly. Let me explain. Back on episode 406, about a year ago, I mentioned the Plug project on Indiegogo. That is a portable battery pack with 2 AC outlets. Well, I finally received it at the end of August and was able to take it with me on my trip last week. It worked great and was the start of a few conversations when you are sitting there in the speaker lounge and your laptop is plugged into your own personal and portable AC outlet, and it gets a few speakers to take notice. Per the Tesla products, the battery pack used, or the battery cells used, are Tesla premium battery cells. In addition to the 2 AC outlets, it also has 2 fast charging USB ports and 1 USB-C port. If you're a road warrior or someone that works and does trade shows, you have to do trade shows for your work, this is a product you want to take a look at. It actually costs less than the price of electricity that you would be charged for a single event. Nice to be able to connect your monitor and laptop to the battery pack and off you go. If you are a camper or live somewhere where power goes out often, this is definitely something to take a look at as well. If you're a podcaster, this is really nice so you can do portable setups. When it was an Indiegogo project, it cost just $199 for the early bird when I ordered it. I hope some of you did as well. Now it is at the regular price of $314 plus shipping at Indiegogo page, but not sure if you can still actually purchase it there. If you go to ChargeTech, ChargeTech.com, ChargeTech.com, it looks like it's $349 for the travel unit, which is the 4,200 milliamp hour unit. If you want, you can see the unboxing video for this in the TI app right after the post for episode 439 and before the one for the bingo card. So again, go in the TI app, look for the unboxing video, and you can see how big the unit is and how it looks. Again, it's nice size. It's not that heavy. Fits nicely in your laptop bag. And if you are a road warrior, you want to look into this. In the video, I incorrectly said it was a Kickstarter project, and it was from 2 years ago, when really it was an Indiegogo project from 1 year ago. It just felt like 2 years of waiting. From Andres G, ask Siri, where's my binky? Excellent advice. Let me try that. Where's my binky?
I think I might have seen the dog with it.
Where's my binky?
It's right there. No, there. No, there it is.
Where's my binky?
Try checking your mouth.
Where's my binky?
Try checking under the couch.
Thanks again to Casper for their support of TII. And if you go to casper.com/TII and use promo code TII, all lowercases on the promo code, you will save $50 off a mattress shipped right to your door. Again, go to casper.com/TII and use promo code TII. Before we go today, I want to remind you to send in your feedback to the show, 206-666-6364. That's 206-Moondog. Or record your feedback and email to the show at todayios@gmail.com. Feedback can be a question or a comment per something someone said on this episode, or it can be a question or rant you have about something else, an app or product review, good or bad. As long as it is iOS related, it is welcomed. I'm always looking for new artwork to feature that you created on an iOS device. Just put some TII branding on it and send it in. And of course, we're always looking for more music created on an iOS device to play on the show. It's your show and your feedback is greatly desired. I will be doing a lot of traveling over the next 6 weeks. LA, New Orleans, New York City, Winnipeg. I will do my best to stay on that 7 to 10 day release schedule. Your feedback will help on that front. So please send emails and voicemails with your thoughts on iOS 11 and the tips and tricks and questions you have, plus your feedback on the September 12th event and what new products you will or will not be buying and why. Also, don't forget to check out our moderated Google Plus community by going to todayinios.com/community. And a quick reminder, if you are an app dev or an iBook author, email me if you want your app or iBook featured in the promo giveaway segment for free. Just need to send me 5 promo codes or more to give away. Simply email me at todayinios@gmail.com and please include a 60-second or less audio review of your app or iBook indicating you are the dev or author. Also, when you send in the promo codes, please make sure to let me know when they expire. Finally, check out the newly updated TII app, which is free to you. Search for TII in the iTunes App Store. It is the best way to consume the show and to get push notifications each time a new episode of TII is released. It's fully voiceover friendly, of course. Please go right now, download it or update. You'll appreciate the new changes. The next episode should be out late Tuesday, early Wednesday morning, following the September 12th event. We're going to go over what was announced. I usually like to watch it live, do my notes. Then when Apple makes the video live again later on, go back and do my notes a second time, review it, see what I missed. Goal is to have it live for you before you commute to work on Wednesday morning. If you can get me feedback this right away, I'll get that feedback on the next episode. So I want to hear what you guys have to think, and girls, what you folks have to think about what Apple announces, what they didn't announce, if there's anything you're disappointed about or everything you were disappointed about. Let us know. Again, plan is to have the next episode live the evening of September 12th into the morning of September 13th. Until the next time, which is going to be pretty soon, I'm your host, Rob, reminding you to phone different. This show is hosted on Libsyn.com and part of the Wizard Media Network. If you are looking for hosting, go to Libsyn.com. That's Libsyn.com for hosting for your podcast and for creation of your own smartphone app. The Today in iOS podcast can also be found on the free Stitcher radio app. Just search for TII.